You remember that time we tried to weaponize kittens? Operation Acoustic Kitty was undertaken by the CIA back in the 1960s. There was a lot of wild experimentation on animals back in the day.
The bull has had electrodes implanted in the brain and is controlled by a scientist.
But this one was especially crazy because they literally tried to surgically implant batteries and listening devices into cats. They wanted to spy on the Kremlin. And I can't say that I blame them given the situation of the world today. Yes, Operation Acoustic Kitty aimed to use cats as covert listening devices for Russia. The CIA wanted to gather intel for the United States. The cats were surgically implanted with microphones, antennas, and batteries. I don't even know where you'd put those things on a cat. And it's crazy because this is some weird sci-fi, like you'd see this in Fallout or something. I don't even know. This is nuts. This is a real story. And honestly, when I started reading about it, I couldn't really believe it. There's not a ton of information about it online, I'll tell you that. I had to do some serious digging. This is the most reading I've ever done for a video. So I hope you enjoy it. And by the way, if you haven't subscribed yet, why not? Why? Look me in the eye and tell me why. Please subscribe if you haven't. Like the video, comment, tell me what you think about it. I appreciate it. I read the comments and I take your constructive criticism. And sometimes when you guys are really mean, I cry. I do it in the shower so my enemies can't see my tears. The training that the CIA conducted with the cats involved teaching them how to move naturally with this new surgically implanted equipment, teaching them to move towards specific objectives based on sound or other factors, and really just trying to figure out how to get the cats in position where the listening equipment would work. As you can imagine, there were significant difficulties in training cats to do pretty much anything. They could not reliably train cats to behave in any specific manner, no matter what methods they tried. In addition to that, there were very unpredictable behaviors of cats in real-world situations. There is no way to account for all the different environmental factors that an animal would encounter in a foreign country, anywhere in the world in a foreign country, as if the cat knows. Wow, it's been a long day. Yeah, there's no way to account for what's going to happen in the real world when you release a cat. And so there was no way to kind of predictably measure the cat's behavior or figure out what it was going to do in a given situation. In addition to that, back in the 1960s, we're talking about very limited equipment. The technical limitations and capabilities of the equipment they had at hand, not good. Not like today where we can make everything tiny. The first trial of the program actually resulted in poor little Mittens getting hit by a taxi upon release. Subsequent attempts were actually abandoned, due to ineffectiveness. The estimated cost of the program back in the 1960s was around $20 million. This was an extremely significant investment of time, funds, and personnel for the CIA. Adjusted for inflation today, I found estimates ranging from $140 to $177 million. That is a pretty penny. That would have been a significant portion of the CIA's budget, and a very significant portion considering it was a failed experiment. The CIA is a bumpy subject no matter who you ask. I try and take a middle of the road looking at their successes and their failures, but this one baffles me. Who thought that they could train cats? Who have you ever been around a cat? That's the only question I'd ask any of the people that were trying to figure this out. Have you ever interacted with a cat? Because I have too. And I'll tell you, despite the fact that I feed them every day, I give them everything they need, I love them, they won't listen to me. I mean, they won't listen to me. I think that they would run to danger if I told them danger's over there, come over here. They would just do it just because they're basically walking middle fingers. Operation Acoustic Kitty is a very interesting story, and it's one that I'm glad I was able to tell you. I love doing the reading for this one specifically. It is cited generally in conversation as a bizarre and failed espionage experiment. And, now we know why. Poor little Mittens got hit by a taxi on their maiden voyage. It is an interesting, case study in the lengths that, individuals will go, organizations will go to conduct espionage. It did contribute to the advancement of surveillance techniques, tactics, and procedures. For anybody who's in the military, you know what a TTP is. This also marked a time when, the government began moving away from using animals for these kind of purposes. I think everybody had this dream that we could use animals in place of humans for whatever reason. So significant money was invested during this time in trying to figure out different kinds of animals that could be used for different purposes. Crows were experimented with, dolphins were experimented with, sea lions, bunch of different kinds of animals. I think that the research probably just hadn't gone far enough at that point. We just didn't know enough, and we didn't have the equipment, training capabilities that we have now. Who knows what would happen if we tried it today? Honestly, with the shrinking of technology, with the ability to make things as small as we can, there'd probably be significantly more success. However, I don't think that I would think it's ethically feasible to use cats for surveillance. I don't know. And now I'm stuttering because it's very late at night. I'm making this video for all of you. I hope you enjoyed this one, guys. It was a lot of fun to make. The reading that I did for it was really, really cool. And, I have a lot of fun telling you guys about weird history facts and animals. Please continue to watch the next video in the queue, and if you haven't subscribed already, please do so.